remembering when we are creating a diverse and inclusive environment that is culturally competent, we're going somewhere. Equality, all infused in that. So a diverse, equitable, inclusive environment that's culturally competent is what we want. I call it a party, right? I want to be at this party. I want to be in the D&I party zone. Diversity means you're going to invite me to the party. Inclusion means someone's going to ask me to dance. Cultural competence is you're not going to judge my dancing, because don't assume I'm a Black woman that can dance, because I surely cannot. And oh, by the way, equity, don't charge me to get in when you didn't charge anybody else. Equality, I should be in the running for the queen of the dance, just like everybody else. Listen, the future is yours to create. You cannot ignore our history. You must be open to understanding our present experiences, and you have to do the work to change your future. It's in your hands to do. Thank you all so very much. And I want to open it up for any questions or comments. Questions or comments?
Hi, Dr. Angela. My name is Kritika. I have a question.
Yes, Kritika.
We talked at the beginning of this presentation about the importance of history, of knowing where we came from to determine how we got where we are now. And only then can you think about what you need to change to bring forth improvements. How do we as an organization begin to understand what it is that we need to fix? Like, what questions should we be asking ourselves to make that understanding known?
Yeah, that's a great question. So a part of the model that I use, the LEPUS model, that first piece is a critical component. What I have people do is set up what's called listening and learning sessions, where you are listening and learning sessions, as well as Let's Breathe sessions, which gives opportunities for people who are in marginalized groups to have dialogue and express their concerns, and really being able to capture that and build out a plan based on that information. If you're not listening to your employees, there's no way in the world you can drive the needed change, because they're going to be the voice that's needed. It's similar to, and I'm sorry, I saw this on your website. I feel so bad saying this but it's such a true statement. And I don't know who wrote this, but you might want to think about this. You will never be the employer of choice until your employees say that you're the employer of choice. You can't stamp that label on yourself. And you all have a line somewhere on your website. I can't remember where I saw it, but you said, as the employer of choice, we something that you have in one of your statements. I want to say something about diversity. You can't call yourself that. Your employees are the ones that have to call you that. And you can't get that place, that titling of being the employer of choice, until you give the opportunity for voice from your employees. Employee Connect surveys, asking appropriate questions, pulling in that data, get the data, then use it and build out a plan to change the culture. It is work. I'm not going to pretend like it's not work. It's work, because some people are more, further from where we need them to be than others. So it's going to be hard to get people to a place of true understanding of that which is discriminatory, because sometimes you've done things for so long, you don't even realize that it's actually offensive or wrong or needs to change. But it starts with hearing from the employees and giving opportunity for that safe space. And I facilitate those types of meetings all the time, where I come in and have that conversation with the employees, gather that data, and then build out the outcomes and report it out to the leaders. And we start building a plan from there. Others?
I have a question. Our company is very customer focused, and we deal with a lot of customer service related service points. So my question, I don't know if this is something you can answer, is how would you relate diversity and inclusion with the importance of providing good customer service? Because I think I always feel, I always have a little bit difficulty trying to link those two. I know it is important to have different faces and different perspectives when dealing with a diverse client base as well. But how do you explain the importance of that to a business?
Well, I think it's a combination of what you just said. I think it's a combination of two things. It's a combination of one, what you just said, making sure that your employee population is reflective of your customer population. You know, I see that misstep over and over again, where, especially in, for example, healthcare. I've done a lot of work in healthcare. You know, especially in things like healthcare, you can't always have people treating people who don't look like them. It's just not sensible. So that's one side of it. But the other side of it is, how are we engaging our clientele to better understand what their true needs are? Because a lot of times we are providing services based on what we think they need, but we've never even heard from them to know, even if it's based on, oh, we have great sales, or we provide service and they keep wanting our service, whatever it is that is being provided. But have we really assessed what the needs are? I just did some consulting. It's Fatoma, right? Was that who I was just saying? Yeah. I just did some work with an organization that provides training programs to schools all around the country. Yet they have not customized their training services or their curricula for different languages. But yet they're targeting schools that have students that have multiple languages, or English isn't their first language. But they're targeting, curricula to these different organizations around the country. They're selling, but in many cases, they're just going on the shelf because some of the teachers aren't able to use the material because they're not able to meet the language concern in those communities. So being able to understand the needs of the community, I think, is an important thing from a diversity lens, not just from a sales lens. I think culturally we could be so much further along, and also logically make even more money, because our focus will be on those needs and not just on what we think people need and want. So I think those two things, that internal lens and that external lens, are both needed. Others? Well, awesome. I thank you all so much. I'll hang on. If anyone had other things that you wanted to say or ask and didn't want to do it in front of the whole group, I will hang on. So if anyone wants to hang on and you wanted to share or ask any additional questions, you're welcome to do so. But other than that, we are done. Justin, I'll turn it back over to you.